Welcome back to Old World Fanatics, and this time it is a picture battle report of a game myself, Gommo, got with Andrew, one of the other hosts of Old World Fanatics, just the other night. It's actually a re-recording of this bat rep because I had my microphone configured incorrectly, which, there you go. Anyway, so this will be, let me bring this up. We've got Castle Assault happening a week from today, which I guess by the time you maybe watching this, it's already passed, so who knows. But we are playing still under what's called Aussie Comp V2. So that's a 33% character limit. Pretty cut down, actually. So it's just 33% character limit, 33% max flyers, and I think units can't be more than 25% of your unit strength. I think there's another limitation, but outside of that, there's not a lot capped. Now, obviously, that match play and all that, and FAQ 1.5 is out. So anyway, but the tournament is still using the comp because it was sort of pre some of that changes. And I'm taking my Beastmen, which slowly almost there in terms of painting. Andrew's taking High Elves Grand Army. I've just got the pictures. We didn't actually do a normal video report because, man, the last couple of weeks been pretty knackered in work. So we want to sort of just relax a bit more. It's a lot easier. Just take a picture and sort it out later. So let me jump into the different slides here. So basically, like I said, yeah, it's Aussie Comp, 2,000 points. And this mission was actually just kill each other. It was like you get extra battle points based on unit strengths killed. And you deployed 9 in from the side and 15 inches up. So it's a lot quicker. Now, this is sort of the second game I played with Andrew with my Beastman, technically third actually, but second with against his High Elves. And last game, his Dragon, like I wiped out my Chaos Spawn, and I knew that one-on-one with the Dragon and my Doom Ball wasn't going to go well unless I obviously Vile-Tided that Dragon. It's the only thing I can really do to hurt it. So even though it's 15 inches, I didn't want to deploy right up there. He does still have a lot of shooting. So it was one of those weird ones where it's like, is he going to come for me? Is he not? I obviously have to just push a bit, but I don't want to get any turn 1 charges on me. So anyway, let me go through the lists quickly. Left to right on Andrews. I'll try and remember exactly what he had, but we'll get there. 1 Tyrannoc Chariot out there. You can see his eagle just behind the tree. His print on the dragon, it's the Star Dragon, but he's just got the Opal Amulet, Cedar Rebirth, Blood of Calidor, and it's a great weapon. On his list it says shield, but that's not right. So I think he's got a 1-off 2-up save with a 5-up ward. Sorry, 2-up ward, but usually with a 5-up regen, and then he's full plate. And then he's got 3 of these little darts of 5 Elven Archers. So there's 1 lot there. Then he's got a big block of, how many is that? 21 Lothan Seaguard. The usual stuff. Has he got a banner? Yeah, Razor Standard on them. And he's also got Obsidian Lodestone as well on that. And then he's got his 6 Dragon Printers with, I think they're the ones with the war banner, drilled, all that sort of stuff. Another unit, those little darts, Tyrannoc Chariot, the little archers again. And then his sisters, let me just find out what he had. 13 sisters, 1 with the bow of the Seafarer, and then 1 more Tyrannoc Chariot. And yeah, so excuse the fact that I haven't painted everything. It's getting there. So 1 Razor Gore out on the left, 4 Dragon Ogres with a Shartak, not the I'm going to call it a Tyrannoc Chariot, the Tuskor Chariot there next to him. Then a Giant Chaos Spawn of Nurgle. 23 Gores with shields with the Doom Bull in there. The Doom Bull has -1 to hit, Slug Skin, great weapon. Dark Heart, I think it is, where he can heal himself, just 1. And there's actually a Shaman. I don't know if you hopefully you can see my mouse. Let me go back. There's a Shaman level 1 there with the Dark Rain, whatever it's called, Chalice of Dark Rain, to have people's ballistic skill shooting for a turn. And then there's another level 1 here. This one's the one with the Hag Tree Fetish and stuff. But pretty much the only magic I got is 2 level 1s with Vile-Tide. Obviously the whole Erdstone. 8 Skirmishing Gores, 15 Skirmishing Ungors. and another chariot, and then 4 dragon ogres Shartak, with a Shartak, I should say, and 1 more Razorgore. So symmetrical, just with the stuff in the middle. Yeah, that's basically Andrew gets first turn. I don't know why that pitch is so bad, but he gets drained magic off. Again, this is what killed me. What sort of killed my last game. Even though technically I probably won the last game, we actually did a massive. We didn't bat rep that, and right after the next day, I realized we just screwed something up. His dragon went into the rear of my gore block in the woods, and he lost by 1. But it wasn't until the next day that I realized, hang on, I counted ranks when we were doing the combat res. So he would have actually won by 1. So the fact that he lost that combat, he got pushed back, and then I wild-tided his dragon and killed him. So that wouldn't have happened, but who knows what would have happened. But anyway, this spell was really annoying, that game, because anyone within 24 inches and it's rains in play, it's actually hard to dispel. And obviously then I'm +2 to cast. I'm only level 1. Yes, I've got the Herdstone around me, but that's only going to affect like a +1. So yeah, a little annoying, but yeah, it is what it is. So he didn't push too hard either, but just kept out of my charges everywhere, which, you know, makes sense. Just pushed up a little bit there. The dragon wondering who he's going to charge. Yeah, even the princes come up a bit. These archers just sit back and volley fire. And over on this side, much the same. Little bit of movement, not a heap, and then just start shooting. So he kills 1 of my dragon ogres here, and I think I don't know if I put it here, but I'm pretty sure he put some wounds on my chariot. But I can't remember if that was this turn or next. And that's about it, really. He may have also, sorry, he put a wound on my Razorgore out there on the left. So my turn 1, yeah, we were ummed and ahed about this initially. I was like, man, what am I going to do if I don't move up? I'm not doing anything. If I push up, you know, he's got the dragon princes. I really didn't want to combo charge on the dragon princes and his dragon. So I just decided to give him targets, basically, to see what happened. So I pushed my chariot just up the middle. Just went, you know, obviously I'd flee if I had to, and just see what happens. If he doesn't charge that, then I'll charge those archers, but or try charge the bowman. Sorry, the Lothern Sea Guard, just do something, but we'll see. And then over on the left, I just moved up as within 3 inches of, that's as far as it could go, and he got it within 3 inches of the chariot, so at least I'm not getting impact hits on me. So sort of distract that, and then just push the dragon ogres a bit to the point where, well, yeah, charge them. I know that if his dragon goes in there, I might lose the Shartak, but that unit's gonna do nothing. This is, I guess we talked about this later, just because of the deployment, and like I didn't want the Gauls right up there because I didn't want them to get combo charged straight out by the dragon ogres and the dragon princes. So I wanted them as a sort of secondary thing, but because they're so wide, they can't really, you know, ideally if they were a bit narrower and the scenery wasn't exactly like this, or how I'd put the herdstone slightly different, I probably could have pushed the dragon ogres up in a spot that if the dragon charged them, then got a little bit more of help on them from the Doom Bull and stuff, but is what it is. But I also went, well, just see what he does. At least here, if he does go into my gore block as well, which he wouldn't at the moment anyway, he's only getting the dragon in there. The Chaos Spawn I positioned deliberately right on the edge of that impassable. So therefore, if his dragon ogres come in, at least if he goes a bit wider, he's not getting overrun. That was the idea. Moved, wizard just went up. I think the wizards, he did, and this is the other thing, he deliberately stayed out of 20 inches of my mages, so I wasn't even going to get Voltide off. And over this side, pushed up a little bit, but ready for sort of see if I wanted to turn 2. Started to screen. This is screen my dragon eggs, which probably should have done from day 1 a little bit. This is where I actually realized, only 3rd game playing, that the Ungor have Chariot Runner. I might actually use that. I was originally not going to put, you know, the chariots are going to work with the dragon ogres, but I'll just see what happens in castle side. I might use them with the chariots a little bit, depending on the matchup. Because yeah, putting 2 behind them and moving them up and then charging through them sounds fun. I might try that. yeah, into his turn 2. So then he does the charges. So he charges the eagle and the Tyrannok into my Razor Gore. The dragon goes into my Dragon Ogres. He leaves the chariot alone, and then yeah, he because he knew this would happen, he'd block himself up a bit, but he wanted as many attacks as he could. So went in, drilled, and went into my Dragon Ogre. Oh, sorry, Giant Spawn. What did you do? Again, being Wood Elves almost, just kept out of all my charges and moved around and just started shooting again, basically. That's all he did out on that side. Combat, this is where I was like, wow, and this is where I want to get better at, well, not better, but just understand how good some of these Dragon Ogres and stuff, especially with 1.5 changes and all that. Let's go up the top first. Yeah, it was a push. Basically, I did 1 wound. He did 1 wound basically to my dragon, my Razor Gore, which was bloody awesome because he had no impact hits. And then I did 1 back to the eagle because it's basically the same toughness but doesn't have a save, at least not a chariot. So we just pushed, but I was, man, if I had just done 1 more, vice versa, would have been good. The dragon though went in, obviously challenged him with my Shartak. And yeah, he put 3 wounds on him, but that's it. So I have 1 wound left on my Shartak. And on top of that, the Shartak with his 4 attacks or 5 attacks, whatever he has. No, 4 attacks, yeah. 4 wounds, 3 attacks. So yeah, so 4 attacks. I rolled basically all the hits. And then with his, what's he got, a 3 up into him, is that right? Yeah, basically I got 3 wounds through on him. He was debating using the 2 up ward for one of them, but he didn't at the moment. And regen 2 of them though. So he's only taken a wound, but in terms of combat res, he's down by 3. Doesn't get his close order. I've got close order because I've got 1 wound left, which kept me at unit strength 10. So I pushed him back, and that was just phew. I needed that. I needed that big time. The Dragon Ogres actually win. Dragon Ogres. The dragon. There's so many dragon words. The Dragon Princes win, and my guy's Unbreakable pushes back. I think he maybe did 2 wounds or something, and then he just shot everything at the chariot, and you can see there's 1 wound left on the chariot over there. So this is looking like the end of the turns, and nothing much different there. Not sure why I took that picture. So my turn. So I go in with the chariot into the little archer unit. He fled that, rolled too high, went off the board, and then I redirected, which is perfect for me, redirected into the Sea Guard. They can't stand and shoot now, went in. And on top of that, which I didn't even think about it till after that resolved, and then Andrew went, oh, I can't dispel now. And I was like, yes. It worked out all right. I won't say I actually used my brain in terms of wanting to do that. If he'd held with those, see, because realistically he could have held, but he had 1 wound left. So I guess hindsight 2020, it's probably still the right thing to have done, hoping that they fled, but maybe he should have just stood there and taken it, and then he would have had a dispel. So I didn't charge. I charged the spawn in. That was it. And then I moved the wizard down here outside of the 24 inches. He's just going to have to go raw. He has no power scroll. He's got +1 to cast there, but he at least isn't getting dispelled. And then I'm not even dispelled, sorry. He's not getting drained magic because I can't get this drained magic down. I'm trying, but not rolling high enough. My other guy is in the 24. I can't get out of there and still be in range of the dragon, so I just have to eat it. But he is +2 to cast now, so it sort of negates it. I just need to roll an 8, which obviously is less than 50-50 chance, but is what it is. But but he's got power scroll, so I can push that one through at least. And we in his turn 2, he did try charge my Ungor with his chariot and was off by an inch because of the dangerous terrain. And then I think I tried to charge back by whatever, but it didn't happen. Anyway, they're all just stuck there. And then I pushed up hard here just to say, well, it is what it is. I don't want you shooting at me all game. Again, here I am just learning. I still push too far up because the skirmishes and just get out of the way, which, it's a balancing act, isn't it, this game? It's frustrating. So yeah, I unload Voltide. I think it's probably about what I got. Basically put 4 wounds through on him. So now he's had 5 wounds. He's got what, 3 or 4 left. Um, much happier now because anything can happen, at the end of the day. What happened with the Dragon Princes? That's right. I think I'm down to like 2 wounds left. I wiped 3 of them out. I believe he still beat me and then pushed me back because he's got War Banner, and he did 1 or 2 wounds. I can't remember what it was. I think he might have done 2 in that, and I only did 3. Yeah, it sounds about right. So he's pushed me back there. And yeah, this is when on his turn, he just gets out of the way. If we have a look at this, yeah. So he chasts up my chariot. His chariot go into my Ungor. I think what happened here is, I don't know if this is beginning or end, but definitely I remember they fell back in good order at some point. And he was able to, because I couldn't get my Razor Gore up there far enough with his movement my turn, he's actually had enough to wheel out with his Tyrannok. It's just a bit annoying. Over here, because he'd pushed back, he didn't follow up with his Dragon Princes. So then he, reformed and charged into the Shartak as well, into that combat to give him the flank and banner and all that sort of stuff. And then, and you can't see this in the picture, but his eagle had charged my shaman who was near the building. I fled. I actually got away, and that's where his eagle failed his charge. And then obviously the Shartak ends up dying, and they're still there though. So what happens? I lost the combat. They haven't taken any wounds. So what? I can't remember what happened. Because obviously his dragon killed my Shartak, but he mustn't have got anything through with the other guys. I can't remember because they would have got the extra. I can't remember. Could they not attack? I can't remember what it was. But anyway, I got no wounds on that. I diagonally gave ground, and then he followed up with the dragon, and then he's positioned his dragon ogres like this for a charge against the spawn again on the side type thing. Yeah, what's the same? Nothing's changed over there. I must have just taken a picture. Sorry. Okay, so, and this is when it gets interesting a bit again. So if I go back here, you remember where the Dragon Princes were? I rolled a 13, I think, for the spawn. And originally, I mean, I was pretty sure I couldn't do this, but Andrew is a gentleman when he plays, and I said, if you can wheel my guy around without bumping into that impassable terrain, yeah, I'll do it. But if not, whatever. Anyway, he wheeled it, and he was in by over half an inch, like by what we looked at. This is why I hate the wheel. So the Chaos Spawn went into the Dragon Princes and ended up beating 2 of them. You can see the other guy fled off, and then he overran into the dragon. So that's what he's done there. Now, what I'd because that was the random move, and this is obviously the result of everything. After he hit the Dragon Princes, I just thought this again. I don't know if it was the right move or not, but I just thought if this dragon gets out of there, because at the time, obviously, my spawn wasn't in there. That big Gorgon is like facing forward, and I don't know if he was going to go in there. I just figured he was probably going to fly around the back this way and then start taking other stuff out. And so what I did is I pulled the Doombull out of there and just went, well, at least if he flies somewhere at the front, my Doombull can at least try and charge or do something. Like he's separate. At this point, I don't care if I'm getting shot at. And I just spun the Gauls just to say, well, if you go back there, I'll charge you, or I might be able to pin you down or something, or I'll charge the eagle, or whatever. Just so I'm covering that side. It looks very weird. Also, he can if he charges me in the rear, he can have me. I don't care. At least the Doombull can then come in. So it was like just giving him a target again. Looks like the spawn's down to 1 wound there. Oh, sorry. A couple of turns ago, yeah, my chariot died. He got in, and I rolled a 1 on impact hits. I think I killed 1 guy, and then he got killed. So what happens here is he killed. So we were taking, as I said, we were pretty buggered and just having a relaxing sort of game and testing stuff out, just push stuff, whatever. He I've done another wound to him too there by the look of it. Basically what happened, I think he killed my spawn in one combat and then didn't pursue my dragon ogres or didn't follow up. And then he reformed. And then at that point we were like, what do you want to do? Do we just keep playing stuff? And he went, well, let's just see what happens. General off. So, because the goal was to kill unit strength as well. So probably you should have gone off my gore and all that, but this is just testing stuff out. So he went in, and yeah, you can see over here. I'd vile-tilted his eagle off, and then yeah, we went in, and my guy, he took 3 wounds, and then I ended up getting through 3 or whatever it was and killed him. So, and we forgot to do the slug skin still. So I think my guy would have, with him only on 3 or 4 wounds left, I was quite confident of hanging around a few turns and maybe even killing him, which I ended up killing him. So that was cool for the little Doom Ball to get some action there, thanks to Andrew charging in, which he probably wouldn't have done if it was a proper tournament, but I'll take what I can get. Because that other side of the board, yeah, sorry, I just actually clicked something there and I don't know what I did. So I had this bit on there. Yeah, I was just saying with the, yeah, just in terms of the other side of the board, we were going to jump around and eventually kill some things over there with the dragon ogres and his sisters and stuff. So rather than jump around and waste a heap of time, that's why we ended it this way and just wanted to see what the generals do. So yeah, good to get some Doom Ball points on there. But I just wanted to say, like, I'm playing 3 games in, been very impressed with the Dragon Ogre's resilience. The fact that, yeah, 3-up save. Hopefully I haven't said this before. Just the 3-up save, the 4 wounds they've got, means you need to do a lot just to stop them getting all their attacks back, which even against decent infantry, or even though no combat res as much, like static combat res, they put it out with the hits, which I'm pretty impressed with. Especially because these, like, the dragon's not getting his close order and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, definitely want to learn to use them. The biggest change I think I'm going to do, which Andrew was talking about and I agree, is that gore block's just too wide at 8, especially because it's basically the Doom Ball delivery. So I've already done up a smaller movement tray, probably the same size as a 6 wide, so the same size as those 3 dragon ogres there. Basically, it just gives them a bit more opportunity to squeeze in and lend their support where they need to, or get the Doom Ball where they need. So going to make that change. I'll probably obviously play around depending on the matchup with screening more. I've got to do that more, just to alleviate some shots. And but apart from that, I mean, it's you never get turn 1. You just push up, and then you've just got 2 magic missiles. So technically, you can go pretty quick if you know what matchup you're after and you deploy okay. It's when you're umming and ahhing that it probably slows up. But anyway, it was a fun game. It's good to get that in before Castle, which is next week. And yeah, I guess give me some tips if you think I should have been doing other things. Obviously, we were nothing's perfect there, and I'm still learning with this army. Yeah, if you haven't followed us, jump over, like, subscribe, everything on our channel, please. Leave some comments. And yeah, you can check out our Patreon over on patreon.com/oldworldfanatics. We live stream our podcast every Monday, 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. So you're welcome to jump on there and chat. Yeah, and as I said, at this time of recording, we've got Castle Assault coming up, so we're chatting more about that. But yeah, whenever you see this, that's all, maybe irrelevant. All right, thanks for listening to another Bat Rep, and I'll see you on the next one.
Old World Rankings. Ranking players worldwide. Find upcoming tournaments. View latest results. Search thousands of army lists. Global faction statistics. Old World Rankings. Free to join today.